everybody, get dressed, grab your ski mask, and kill your headlights. High School Stories is holding night classes.
How do you like to go on the little adventure?
First up, one brave high school prankster is making mischief in the wee hours of the morning to protest his school's locked latrine.
What's better than a senior prank is an act of civil disobedience.
Then some students work up a sweat in the blazing desert heat.
By like the 100th bottle, everyone was kind of sick of doing it.
But they have to play it cool to pull off their prank. Dig it right now on High School Stories, Scandals, Pranks, and Controversies.
My school is so boring.
When is something interesting gonna happen? Give us something to talk about.
Something to talk about.
High School Stories, Scandals, Pranks, and Controversies.
It seems like high school rules frustrate students from coast to coast. You must do this. You can't do that. You know the drill. On one Heartland school, the bathroom policy pissed off the entire student body. Literally. You'll see what I mean. This is Zion, Illinois. Situated on the bank of Lake Michigan, this modern-day Rockwell painting is a perfect picture of Middle America.
Zion, just a nice community. There's a lot of parks and definitely a lot of churches.
Zion was founded on a religious foundation. There's a big church in the center, and pretty much it spreads out from there.
The streets are lined up in biblical names in alphabetical order. That's kind of how you find your way.
Finding your way through town, you'll come upon Zion Benton High, a sizable school with a diverse atmosphere.
There's about 2,200 kids. There's a lot of things to do.
We got theater, we got choir, we got math team. Anything you can name, we most likely have it.
Meet Nathan, a National Guardsman and an upstanding member of his church's youth group. But Nathan isn't your typical choir boy.
Nathan is a very moral person, but he's not like a goody two-shoes.
He can be serious and he can be real jokester. He's really focused and determined when he gets something set in his mind.
And one thing that was on the minds of all Zion Benton students, the bolted bathrooms.
The policy is the bathrooms are supposed to be unlocked during passing periods when the students are going to be in the hallways.
What actually happened was you'd walk around trying to go to the bathroom, and you couldn't find one because, well, they're all locked.
Even so, there were people in place at the school called parapros who were supposed to help the students in their time of need.
A parapro is a lot like a hall monitor.
The administration claimed these parapros have keys to unlock the bathrooms, but you ask them to, and they say, well, I don't have a key.
Can you open the door so I can go to the restroom?
No key.
Depends on how much of a troublemaker you are as to how far you're gonna go to the bathroom.
I've heard some interesting things about people going out to the student parking lot and doing their business. Actually, believe it or not, a couple years ago, a student urinated in a Gatorade bottle.
An article in the school newspaper finally lifted the lid on why the bathrooms were locked in the first place.
The safety administrator was interviewed on why it was locked.
Apparently, the policy existed because kids were defacing the bathroom, so they wanted to keep them locked.
School officials went on to downplay any problems, implying that the bathrooms were open during passing periods.
Once we read the article, it kind of all clicked in for everybody that the administration is saying these bathrooms are unlocked, and it's not true.
Disturbed by what the students perceived to be lies about the lavatory, Nathan enlisted his friend Tony to help him plan a protest.
The idea came up of passing out flyers. I thought it would be a good idea to make a flyer to protest that the bathrooms were locked. And a lot of the students, they know what's going on, but they never thought about, hey, maybe there's some injustice here. So it had to be done.
Nathan asked Tony to meet him in the school's parking lot the next morning and headed home to create the perfect protest flyer.
I took one of those school spirit pictures and scanned it into the computer, and I just put some underwear on it and good old tighty whities and stained it yellow. Nice little dribble down the leg, too. I definitely did not have enough money to print out in color, and so I printed all 2,000 flyers out in black and white. I asked my parents to help me highlight all of the flyers. Can you guys help me?
We knew he wasn't going to get through it in one night, so we offered to help.
It was maybe a little more than I would have put in there, but if that's what he wanted, it was fine with me.
The flyers took nearly all night to highlight. Very redundant, tedious, and annoying job. Thanks, guys. I was Dr. Frankenstein. I just created my monster for the school, and I knew it could be a good thing or it could be a very bad thing depending how they treated the monster.
The next morning, Nathan was ready to unleash his monster on the school and headed to the parking lot to hook up with Tony.
What's up, Nathan? Did you get him?
Yeah. He had a big plastic bag. He ripped the bag open, and there was more paper in one place than I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Man, we gotta go. We gotta get this out to everyone.
Yeah.
We were pumped. It was a great feeling to know that we potentially were about to change the history of Zion Benton.
The guys headed into school, handing out flyers to every student they saw.
I took the north side of the building, Tony took the south.
I started handing out to more and more and more people.
Within minutes, the whole school had flyers.
The flyer said, "Speak out now."
My favorite part was demand bathroom P quality now.
I just thought it was hilarious.
I thought it would definitely turn some heads in the administration.
And heads did turn toward Nathan. The popularity of his protest flyers made him an instant target for the associate principal.
I'm going to need to see you in the hall, and please bring the flyers with you. Nathan, look, this isn't the way.
He was just letting me know that he would just much rather that this was a dead issue.
If you keep doing this, you're the one who's going to suffer. You're going to get in trouble. You're not going to solve anything. You need to stop doing this, will you?
I told him, okay, but I knew also that by that time the damage had been done. People had flyers, and I didn't have to do anything else. I had done my part.
Did he ever? At school the next day, Tony delivered some really good news to Nathan.
Made the front page. The front page of the newspaper. Can you believe it? Our protest.
It amazed me because not only was it front page news, but it was also the first story on the front page news. That just blew me away.
With the students' plight on the front page, Nathan was sure he'd won. He went straight to the nearest bathroom.
This school showed me that they're very stubborn. I'm thinking to myself, this isn't done. I mean, we can't quit now. So there's something more to do.
Will Nathan get punked by his own protest plan?
I was just thinking, Nathan, you moron, what have you done?
Or will he successfully procure his pals the privilege to pee? Find out when we come back on High School Stories.
Take the call. It's so simple.
If she can do it, you can do it. Pick up the phone and start on the road to a better life. So call 1-800-979-5893. Everest for life.
So boring.
High school stories, scandals, pranks, and controversies.
So Nathan, a senior at ZB High, was shut down by the administration after trying to pass out flyers protesting the locked bathroom. But Nathan's not about to give up, and he's planning something even bigger to make his fellow pupils' potty predicament a priority. Try to say that 10 times fast.
I wanted to make a point to the administration. What's better than a senior prank is an act of civil disobedience. I always thought if a student could somehow alter that courtyard, that would just show how serious we really are.
The courtyard windows inspired Nathan. He would paint a protest slogan across the glass for the whole school to see. Nathan decided he needed a brand new accomplice for the discreet duty, so he worked the phones. But the first few calls fell on deaf ears.
No way.
Are you crazy?
I was making mad phone calls, but then I thought of the perfect choice.
Hello?
How do you like to go on a little adventure?
Finally, he got through to someone who agreed to be his accomplice as long as they remained anonymous.
I told my friend that if I got caught, there would be no way that I would rat him out.
Nathan's unidentified co-conspirator agreed to rendezvous at 2:30 a.m.
Put the ladder and the paint on the side of the house. I went in my room, and rather than undressing to get to bed, I dressed up. I set my alarm for 2:29 a.m. exactly, and I knew that at this point there was no going back. Bam. I was ready to roll. I just met my accomplice outside. We were out of there. Whenever we saw a car off in the distance, we dived to the ground. Luckily, no cars pulled over. Let's go.
The pair of pranking Picassos arrived at school undetected and made their way into the enclosed courtyard.
We weren't about to set off any alarms or anything, so we thought the best way would be going over the school. We could see a janitor working inside at 3 in the morning. All that was stopping me was one human body. I told my accomplice to go look out for the janitor or anybody else that might come. As quickly as I could, I painted "Let Our People Pee." I called my accomplice over, kind of high-fived each other. We just kind of eyed the painting for a second. It was just a good feeling, and he grabbed the ladder, I grabbed the paint, and we were out of there. I wanted to see what the students thought about it, how the administration would respond, but at the same time, I didn't want them to fry me.
But when Nathan arrived at school the next morning, his meaningful message was missing.
I was thoroughly disappointed that it wasn't still on the windows. The majority of the students didn't see the vandalism.
Nathan, would you come with me to the office, please?
I was so nervous. I was just thinking, Nathan, you moron, what have you done? It was the longest walk of my life. The associate principal started talking to me about how the whole protest has gotten out of hand. I think he had a feeling I knew something about it.
Do you know anything about it?
That was the moment of truth for me. I told him the truth. I know who did it, but I omitted some more pertinent information, such as I was the one responsible.
In anonymity, then, could you tell me who did it?
No.
Fed up with Nathan's naysaying, the associate principal called in the dean to intensify the interrogation.
I wasn't willing to tell him until Monday.
Monday? What's Monday got to do with it?
The truth of the matter was, I had a choir event that night.
Amazing Grace.
So I told him, apparently the guy's got plans or something over the weekend that he doesn't want to blow.
Whoa, wait a minute. What are your plans for the weekend? Nathan, you have a concert tonight, don't you?
When he said that, it was just like, oh, dang, he got me.
Did you do this?
I didn't know which way I was going to go. I could have swung either way. Yes, I did it. The associate principal and the dean figured that I probably had an accomplice with me.
I want to know everybody that's involved in this.
This is the only one you're going to find out about.
At wit's end, the dean summoned the school's police officer, and the threat started flying.
You have the right to remain silent.
No graduation.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Kicked out of school.
You have the right to an attorney.
Kicked out of the military.
Do you understand?
They just wanted to get that formality out of the way in case they do decide to arrest me. It didn't matter. There was no way that they were going to get that information out of me.
Nathan wouldn't budge, so they had no choice but to throw the book at him. 30 hours of community service, a $150 fine, and 7 days of suspension. A week later, the school still hadn't admitted any official policy change, but Nathan came back to find his extreme efforts had actually made a difference.
I think there was a lot of change. I'd run to the bathroom and it'd be open. Sweet.
Nate, you're awesome. You rock, dude. Thanks for getting the bathrooms unlocked.
I was just doing a favor to the student body. For you Zion Benton kids, you know who to come to if the bathrooms are locked next year.